This is the panel chamber.
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal, yeah? Is this the greatest mystery you mentioned?
Not exactly what I was envisioning.
Well, this is the mystery to be solved, so let's clear it out.
Beats me.
When would it have been possible for them to get into the room ahead of us? They could have got in as Amap Pal was opening the door. They could have just got in. And we wouldn't have seen it. It wasn't this because he was dead already. It was this one.
The culprit murdered the doctor before Amap Pal entered the room. Which means the culprit had to have gotten ahead of Amap Pal at some point. It was when the door first opened. At that moment, the culprit snuck into the doctor's room.
Yeah, when the doors were slowly opening, just like this. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Right. The moment there was enough space for a person to slip through, the culprit hopped off and went inside.
Like this? We still haven't reached the goal. I thought we could get into the doc's lab now.
Is this a joke to you? Your deduction is full of holes. If this is a joke, it's not very funny.
Master, you know what to do.
Of course.
I'll take your garbage deduction and toss it in the trash. I am the saint of Kanai Ward, protecting it from filth like you! The culprit hopped off Amap Pal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible even for Think the Slaughter Artist! Think about it. If Amap Pal's line of sight changed just a bit, the camera would have caught it. No one would do something so risky. The crime would have been exposed. The culprit must be really lucky.
This is the one.
What, did they use some sort of special power?
I think we bypassed it though.
Right.
No.
For now.
The culprit hopped off Amap Pal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible even for Think the Slaughter Artist! Think about it. If Amap Pal's line of sight changed just a bit,
Couldn't have.
Do this mystery. designed so that when its hand is stretched out, it won't execute any other inputs. That's why when it was pressing the button for the door, the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
You little maggots. Don't get so full of yourselves. You're not getting out of here alive.
I get it. So Amap Pal couldn't move while the door was opening. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Exactly.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amap Pal's design, and even the direction the door opens. Whoever planned this must have really wanted the doctor dead. I guess you can call it an obsession. How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession on full display? A room.
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Huh?
What's his problem?
Hey, Yuma.
What now? What is
When
it?
the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Uh-huh.
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right?
Yeah, he should have been.
If the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
Maybe he was on his computer. He would have heard that. I was thinking about that. Like, why didn't we hear shouting or anything like that?
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is.
He's right. This is important.
If he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him. Which means he wouldn't have been stabbed in the back.
Wait, he didn't notice.
That piece of trash is right. Your logic is flawed.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom.
It's a tiny little detail, though, that we have the answer.
Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit!
I'm sorry, guys.
Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
What do you guys think he did?
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind. That's all impossible!
Master!
There should be a contradiction somewhere. You gotta find it and repel it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
That claim doesn't hold up! No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way!
What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about?
The culprit quickly entered the lab.
He had hearing issues. That's probably why he didn't hear the door opening and everything else. Also, it could have been this, because maybe he was at his desk, right? He still would have heard the door if he has hearing issues.
But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back.
It's the other one. I just want to get to it.
Say,
So if the doctor and the intruder were facing each other, then the knife would have gone into the doctor's chest. But never mind that. What about that solution key? Wasn't the doctor deaf?
That's right.
Right. Even if the intruder made noise, the doctor wouldn't have noticed.
The culprit quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right?
True.
There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy.
Hey, running is noisy.
say.
Wouldn't have been running. That's
Yeah.
that's not a contradiction.
The culprit quickly entered the lab.
We're on the right track. We're on the right track.
But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder.
Oh, we were getting pummeled.
Running is noisy.
True.
So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And
That's not
his
true.
chest would have been stabbed, not his back.
What?
Say,
Didn't mean to hit that one.
the culprit quickly entered the lab.
But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep. Is there any trace of him being drugged? Even if he didn't look back from his desk, he would have heard someone coming.
That's the one. I accidentally hit the other one. Again.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic, and there's no way you're gonna fill it at this rate. Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
What? I refuse to see the truth?
What is he talking about?
Vivia said the same thing, but...
It's strange, don't you think? Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
Huh?
You've solved many mysteries up to now, yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
That's what I was saying. We don't have any suspects. I'm like, who is it?
That's because the culprit is the hitman.
I guess.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
Huh?
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
What hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
He's saying subconsciously we know that there's something wrong, but we're ignoring it. Yuma doesn't know, but subconsciously he knows. So this guy realizes that Yuma's a better detective than he thinks he is.
Hey!
What's the hole?
Yuma.
Jeez, go away!
You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The huge hole in this investigation.
What are you...
Just ignore him.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The culprit took advantage of Amap Pal's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, they bumped into Amap Pal while escaping, causing it to fall over. That was obviously a mistake.
Yeah.
But since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told you that. The culprit rode on top of Amap Pal as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the doctor's lab.
That's not what he means.
But if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
Oh.
This is the end for you! You have nowhere left to go!
Oh, come on! Why now?
I won't let you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai Ward! As the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai Ward, I will stop you here and now!
Perhaps this too is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight. Whether it's subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Good luck! You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come! Keep playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery. How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it.
All right, let's see. So it has to be Fubuki's forte, because he wouldn't have been shocked because we never hit it, technically.
Don't tell me the culprit is a robot!
But
We at least had an Amap Pal with us to disable the security system. Didn't you notice anything weird at the time? Think hard.
that's right.
As far as the panel chamber goes,
Keep playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery. How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it.
I'll slash through this mystery.
yeah, that's right. Bend the knee.
A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amap Pal. But we reversed time every time that happened.
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, it went back in time. But while that was occurring, the culprit, a human, was riding on top of Amap Pal. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
But
Which means you killed the culprit over and over again.
Wow.
Vivia,
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
He's going to betray you, Master.
Betray me?
It's up to you, Yuma.
What are you doing?
This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
What the heck, man? What are you doing?
Let me ask you. How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber? It
It's impossible to avoid the gas.
That's what I was wondering too. The toxic gas is bacterial, so regular gas masks are ineffective. It takes about 30 minutes after exposure for the toxins to spread. Death is certain. So it's not immediate.
The culprit would surely die.
No,
You should already know this, right?
it's not true.
Gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask. No ability can nullify its toxicity. Once it hits you, you're done for. You die before reaching Weska.
It's a lie.
No one. This is the truth.
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
What? Don't tell me.
There are no gas masks here that can block this toxic gas, and no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amap Pal taking you to the next room.
Ooh, would have wanted to kill him that badly.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth.
So the culprit would already be dead by now.
I can't believe it.
We didn't kill him, alright?
But if the culprit really did just endure the toxic gas,
This person was determined to murder Weska.
Then they...
the culprit is...
Yeah.
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth. Well, how does it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes? Isn't this what you wanted?
Huh? What's he talking about?
Yomi's mystery phantom and Vivia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is? It's the Hitman, right?
Don't tell me.
The truth is worthless. Nothing has less value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth. Not even you! Now, rot away and die right here!
I have an idea.
No one will get in my way! Kanai Ward, Amaterasu! They both belong to me! If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas. But no one at the scene has died from poison. If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas. But that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yeah.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth?
We know who it is.
Your world will fall apart. The world that you believed in.
But we need to know why.
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace. It's not even worth debating. Is this the best you can do to refute it? Just give up and die!
This, I'll expose the truth!
It wasn't the hitman, guys.
The culprit misrepresented their death by using the hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas. So they used the hitman to cover up their own death.
Use the hitman?
Meaning, the hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor. They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor?
That's crazy. Oh, man. Now, if you guys don't know, there were two knives. The first was in the doctor's back. Where was the second?
But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife.
Yes.
The story of Fink the Slaughter Artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we'll leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back?
Vivia was right, like subconsciously. I'm sure some of you were doing it too. Like, the thought of it crossed my mind, but I like ignored it. That's crazy.
It's the one that Fink the Slaughter Artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So, it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
Stop. Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Weska was killed by the hitman!
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma. It's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, will you still expose the truth?
This would be a reason why Vivia would want to stop us from exposing the truth. But that means he didn't know about the poison though. So either way, like, it doesn't matter.
Then, show me your conviction.
The the clues pointing to the identity of the Hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it if you want to burn the world down.
There it is.
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the Hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person.
And I'm guessing the doctor was somehow responsible for something horrible.
It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the Hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but... Good luck, Master! I'm always by your side, haunting you!
Damn it!
Huh?
Chief... Yako...
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Leave it to a detective to plan out such a practically impossible murder. Like this thing.
Chief Yakou was the only person attacked by the Hitman in the lab. In other words, the Chief was the Hitman's target. But Chief Yakou tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yakou himself. It was given to the Hitman so he'd know his target, and the Chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either. But there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff!
The anemic vampire is gonna throw questions at you, back to back. Press the correct buttons, and you think you've got the correct answer. You'll take damage if you avoid all the ceiling assaults. I'll take damage if I avoid.
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the Chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yakou is the culprit, then what about that death threat? Why would the Chief send it? If he was the killer. Answer me, Yuma.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger. Which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yakou brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The Peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
The note was sent to the Peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the Peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as Peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of Peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the Peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the Chief like this.
Vivia.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as Peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the Chief, right?
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the Peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
No, that's not it! The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
No, that's not it!
No, I didn't push it in time.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
No, that's not it! The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amap Pal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yakou had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amap Pal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amap Pal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab that coward and...
Enough! Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yakou saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything, even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still. I really admired him.
He was normal like Yuma.
So, why? Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me, or I...
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding. But that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found, so he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the Mystery Labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Eliminate the chief?
Are you really going to do this? After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die.
We did all this to try and save him. The irony.
But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door.
But he's still alive, though.
Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time. But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away.
He was even willing to kill us for it. For the chief.
Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the Chief's soul called out to us?
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
And trust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the Chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high. Because I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yakou. Thank you for everything you've done for me!
Right. Wow. What a game. What a game. What a game. So, where is the secret lab located? was Dr. Weska communicated with? Intercom. Peacekeepers. I'm just like, you guys, that was intense. I'm just trying to soak it all in, you know? What a revelation that was. Let's see the truth.
Step right up, step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab, with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the Peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the Master Detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
His whole "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master! What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
At that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap! That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amap Pal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amap Pal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas! Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high-voltage shocks! One wrong move, and he was insta-death. But thanks to that shock escape, we got all the continues we could want. So, we managed a perfect clear! The critical lab was finally breached!
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result. The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilled blood. On to the next thing! Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amap Pal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amap Pal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Grips was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amap Pal entered. They knocked the robot over on the way out.
We then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They had already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot.
Yakou Furio! It was you!
Chief.
I will expose the truth! But why? Chief Yakou, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this?
I want to hear it from him. Like,
why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us?
I don't think we will. They usually die the instant we leave the labyrinth.
Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the Mystery Labyrinth. That's why I'm here. Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case! Death to all deplorables! Ruin to the vile Mystery Labyrinth! Stop shining rainbow glorious stellar spiral! Master's naivete must be rubbing off on me.
My respect for her just went way up after that. It just, you know what I mean. I'm sure she'll say something that, but I wasn't expecting that from her.
I mean, not even I hated Buzzhead. That's weird. This Mystery Labyrinth is falling apart slower than usual. I wonder why.
We shouldn't let our guards down yet. Do you really think we're done here?
What do you mean?
Huh?
Do you have all of the fragments of truth that you sought?
We're still missing, like, who was this girl? Why did he do this? We don't know any of that. We're just inferring that she meant something a lot to him, and that the doctor was probably responsible for it.
If so, we could just leave, right?
Yeah, there are some things that are left.
No, we haven't uncovered everything yet. No, there are still some mysteries remaining.
Huh? What's remaining? I reaped the culprit's soul already. I know it's slow, but this place is starting to come down.
Maybe it's not directly related to this case. I don't want to leave any questions unanswered, for Chief Yakou's sake. Please, help me, Shinigami.
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you, Master. You know I can't resist helping you when you rely on me. First, we need to reveal whatever mysteries are left. That should open up a new path. Lay it all out, Master! Twirling, twirl. made it in the nick of time! You're wrong! That's right!
Email.
Oh, it's a secret dungeon!
Secret dungeon.
The labyrinth must be breaking down so slowly because the identity of the culprit isn't the only mystery. But it's still definitely coming down, so you better hurry, Master!
Yeah, got it.
Yuma, I'll follow you to the end until you reach the truth.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Do you regret this, Yuma?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't.
I've been thinking. Remember what the Chief's soul said? If you keep that in mind while knowing who the true culprit is, doesn't it seem like he wanted you to find the truth? Even though he was the culprit himself.
Why is that?
Maybe there's a hidden truth behind this case, and the Chief wanted us to find it.
There could be some anonymous person involved.
If Anonymous is part of this case, they must have a motive for killing Dr. Weska as well. The doctor knew about the secret dealings and was planning to flee from Kanai Ward by himself, after all. Could it be that Anonymous took advantage of Chief Yakou by instigating him to commit murder?
Yes. It's unlikely the Chief just happened to kill Dr. Weska right as he was planning to flee.
If that's true, Anonymous isn't just involved in the case. They could be the mastermind, the Bray Eminence.
Gray's my 13th favorite color!
Why are you telling me that now?
Gray's her 13th favorite. Okay.
The case is already solved.
Who the heck is this?
All these crimes were committed by Yako on his own. Now, get out of here.
What was that voice?
Someone's trying to stop us from solving this mystery. Now we know. The mastermind is somewhere within this labyrinth.
Get out. 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 Get out!
What's with this guy? Creepy?
We can't let this stop us. There's one more truth still hidden here. We have to find it. We need to know why the Chief committed this crime.
Right. We'll figure this out.
Who are you?
Get out. The case solved. Solved.
I claim to still isn't solved yet. I will discover who the mastermind is. I will solve every mystery. I will not turn away from the truth.
Yako's the culprit.
Here, let's see. According to Vivia's investigation, there has never been a case where Fink the Slaughter artist issued a death threat.
Everything is caused by Yako alone. He hired Fink the Slaughter artist. There's the murder weapon. We even killed the doctor. Yako acted alone. So what about this anonymous? Even if they did, you'll never find out who they are. There is nothing connecting Yako. Go to anonymous.
It's not true.
Rise through this mystery. Chief Yakou tried to hide this floor plan along with that photo of himself. It was strange for him to have this in the first place. This is the link between Anonymous and the Chief.
Kill you.
I have an idea who this is.
In the name of justice, I'll kill you. Kill! Anonymous doesn't exist! Yako wanted everything! Who cares about some map? It doesn't prove a damn thing! It has nothing to do with the doctor's murder! Yes. Anyone can find it!
This is the truth.
It's him.
The floor plan the Chief had was from the lab's storage.
But that room was locked. No one could enter it. It was completely sealed off. Only the director of the Peacekeepers had access. So, the only person who could have gotten that floor plan was Peacekeeper Director Yomi.
The anonymous person who gave Chief Yakou the floor plan and pushed him to commit murder was you, the director of the Peacekeepers, Yomi Hell Smile.
Gotcha.
You were the mastermind. You were pulling the strings from behind the scenes. You instigated the Chief to commit murder!
I never thought someone as empty as me could feel so much emotion. This is the first time in my life I felt this angry.
How did you do it? What did you do to drive the Chief to murder? Answer me!
I'm not telling you anything, idiot.
Huh?
So what if you figured it out? Who cares? It's too late now, you pathetic ingrates. Everyone died just as I planned. Now no one can stand in my way. No one can lay a hand on me. You should be grateful. I'm cleaning up this city.
What did you say?
Master, I hate to admit it, but Yomi's right. You can't do anything to him here.
Why not?
What?
He manipulated Fuzzhead from behind the scenes, but he wasn't the one who murdered the doctor. This Mystery Labyrinth is for the murder of Dr. Weska. You can't punish Yomi.
Then what can we do? He has to pay for what he did!
We can't do anything! That's why I'm freaking out too!
So, exposing the truth would be pointless? Then why have we been seeking it all this time?
The truth is meaningless. I'm in charge in Kanai Ward. I have to laugh. Who could have guessed things would go so well? Yakou Furio was a pain in the ass. The only reason I kept him alive is for this moment. He didn't even realize I was manipulating him into killing the doctor for me. How stupid can you be?
You'll pay for this!
Master, time's up. The Mystery Labyrinth is about to be destroyed.
If only we had found out what he was up to sooner, we might have been able to stop him. Still, I should be able to bring this memory back into the real world. I'll remember this confession. I'm not sure if it'll help, but I'll interrogate him once we return to the real world.
It doesn't matter. I'll cover it all up. You're all nothing but scum beneath my feet. I'm untouchable. And now, I'm gonna dispose of you like the trash you are!
Damn it!
Oh man. Oh. Ooh. This game. We're back.
Hey, hurry up! Execute these scumbags immediately!
We're the scumbags.
Criminals have no rights!
You will pay for this!
What's with that look? Are you seriously going to defy me? Well, I don't care. You're all going to die now.
This is real bad, Master! He's serious!
Wait. Director Yomi Hell Smile. We know all about your secret dealings with Dr. Weska.
Vivia!
What? Did you say something? Maybe I'll kill the loudest one of you first. If you have something to say, go ahead. I can't hear you. Come on, who wants to be the first to die?
Damn it!
Forget it. I guess I'll just kill both of you at the same time.
This
Can't
guy
even
isn't
say
listening to a
anything.
thing we say! If he was the real culprit, I'd both kill him!
It's all going exactly how he wants. Solving the case didn't help anything.
Goodbye. Hope you enjoy the worst nightmare of your life as you die.
The only one who will be having nightmares is you.
You! I thought you went back to the surface! What are you doing here?
Well, Yomi, there's something I want you to see. What do you think of this?
What a diabolical thing to say to somebody. the worst nightmare of your life as you die.
How did you get that?
Most of the secret deals you've been making over the years are listed here. Looks like someone's been cooking the books. You conspired with Dr. Weska and leaked Amaterasu's technology to other national enterprises.
Really no.
And with the money you obtained, you bribed the right people to control this city.
Lies! You made that all up! Hey! I don't care if he is the CEO. Arrest this masked freak! We can't let this outsider barge in here and take control of this city! Capture him, execute him, chop his head off, crush his skull! What's wrong? Why are you just standing there? If you're scared, then I'll offer a bounty. Whoever kills him gets 100 million yen! Won't you obey me? He's using false information to tear the Peacekeepers apart! You want that? You'll all be out of a job! Kanai Ward is better off without people like him! This city's fallen into ruin ever since he showed up! Now follow my orders! This city doesn't belong to him. It belongs to me, the great Yomi!
I'm sorry, Director Yomi. This city doesn't belong to anyone.
It's her.
You... Martina, you're alive?
Makoto stopped the execution order you issued. I am here today thanks to him.
Martina is right. Kanai Ward belongs to everyone who lives here. It doesn't belong to you!
Shinigami?
Probably best to stay quiet and watch for now.
So, you're on that freak's side now? I won't stand for this. You're a member of the Peacekeepers! I won't allow such insubordination!
Director Yomi, there's something I'd like to say to you. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to consult with a lawyer.
What?
Your reign is over, Yomi Hell Smile. Now, everyone, arrest the offending suspect. Please, do not be too rough. Even criminals have rights.
Damn it. Damn you! Mark my words, you masked bastard! Yomi Hell Smile will be back! And when I am, I'll kill you! I'll rip you to pieces for taking everything from me! You're all dead. I'll kill every last one of you!
What a lunatic.
As we discussed before, upon receiving his punishment, I hereby resign from my role in the Peacekeepers.
You don't have to.
I must. This is my way of taking responsibility as his accomplice. Well, Chief Executive Makoto, I hope you will see to the rest.
Sorry for causing so much trouble. That should settle things for now.
Vivia is still laid out. Yeah. Listen, man got hit in the face with a whip. It makes sense.
What's going on?
While the Peacekeepers had their hands full with the lab incident, I snuck into Yomi's room and looked around. And there, I found this file. It's all thanks to you.
Don't tell me. You meant to bring us here to be a decoy from the start?
It was all just a series of coincidences.
Looks like I wasn't able to die once again. Well, at least things worked out.
That was really dangerous. I thought you were done for, Master.
Yeah, me
Makoto
too.
showing up really saved us. Though it seems like he was using me and the others.
That pisses me off. Let's give him a piece of our minds.
Yeah. I think it's It's about time I talked to him.
This was crazy. What a case. Wow. This has to have been the most complicated case so far. So many twists. Makoto. Yomi's arrested, but like arresting like that type of guy, like arresting him. Did you see him? The things he screamed before they took him away. That is not the last we've seen of him. But we'll talk to Makoto in the next episode. Take care, guys.